Hi, this is Prasant, and today's video is about your awareness battery. It's very funny. My other camera's battery just ran out, and it was flashing red. It was running low. It just kind of reminded me of something when you're in the midst of practicing or on the path of self-realization. If you could say there's a path, there's no path. You are that. But if you are working on that or you're interested in that, um, it's like you might find that when you're meditating or you're doing some kind of practice or you're doing self-inquiry, until you really are established in the self and freedom, it's almost like your mind, the awareness that you get from your practice, which is your source, is stored in a little mind battery, you could say. So you're fine for a while, and then suddenly something happens, and you're not fine anymore. And until you're fine with being not fine, which is what happens when you're totally free, you will feel like this is not okay, and your awareness battery will be running low. you know. So it's like that feeling of being relaxed and spacious awareness might be just feel depleted. Then you're like, I got to go run back and, I don't know, do a yoga class or do meditation or do something. So my suggestion, as I've always been saying, music can help you get through that. Listening to music or playing music or practicing music. Why? The most simple thing is beyond music itself, which is just being the awareness, which you already are. So resting as the awareness is the easiest way to continuously be charging your battery. You might have heard great sages and saints say that connect your power to that infinite power, right? So it's easy. It's what's already happening. There's only one thought, or in some cases many thoughts, that are appearing to block that flow of current from the universal energy source to itself. So yeah, you can't even say from the universal energy source to you as though they're two separate things. That's it. So the thoughts and the feelings arising, feeling of separation, is what's blocking that. So just resting as the awareness is the number one easy thing you can do at any time, anytime. The other thing you can do, if that's hard, if that's not working, and you're just having a really difficult day, is listen to music. If you're a music practitioner, practicing your music in a way that is not engaging the mind in a very direct kind of way. So when you're listening, go over the techniques I've talked about in the last several videos, but I'll go over it really briefly for those of you who haven't seen it. You let the sound of the music enter your awareness. Notice that it's already arising in your own awareness, so it hasn't entered from outside, right? You are there witnessing the sound. So the sound is arising in you, in your awareness, not in a body, in the awareness, right? And then allowing that to completely take over the awareness, because if you notice, the nature of sound is that it completely fills your awareness with that sound. It's a subtle vibration of beingness. It's a vehicle that's taking you back to silence. So you feel the sound, completely feel the sound, and relax into it. And this does work. Don't have any doubts. It does work. Relax into that sound. And then as you're relaxing, let the silence, let the beingness come forward. It'll just expand and pulsate and expand, or it just might be a slow relaxing into the silence that you are. You can do this at any time. You can do it in a car when you're driving, right? You can do it when you're commuting to your workplace on the train. So music is incredibly powerful that way. this may not be the case for all the people, of course, but for some of us, you might be, what are you doing with your spare time when you're consuming media, consuming stuff like podcasts, like TV shows? If you're really intent on realizing your true nature and being free, look and see if those are really contributing to you being and seeing who you are, or if they're pulling you away. So there's nothing wrong with them in of themselves at all. But if you are getting pulled out into the mind, into suffering kind of a situation where you're hearing about, Donald Trump, or you're hearing about all the stuff that's happening in the world, and then you're getting totally agitated. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the agitation. But if the agitation is causing that sense of separation and you're not okay with being agitated, if that makes any sense, which is essentially what I feel happens when you're free, is that you can have agitation and you're okay with it. So, but if you're in that agitation, completely consumed by it, you have to look at that and see if that's really worth your time. Maybe switch it to something that will help you establish in the awareness and the freedom more, like music. So charge your awareness battery. Rest in your awareness by charging the battery. So if like just now my camera ran out of battery, if I'm not charging that battery regularly, it's going to keep running out. It's going to run out at the time when I don't want it to run out. So when you need your awareness most, if you've not been charging it, it'll run out on you. You'll what that actually means for us is that you're going to run into the mind and jump into the mind again. So instead of taking refuge, you could say, or resting in the awareness, which is what you want to do. So it's also a reversal of your habits. You want to reverse your habits back to resting in pure being, which is what you are. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you like this, or click the like button. And download my albums, as I mentioned in other videos, that are there to help you rest in your own beingness, be free. Maybe once a week or once in a few days, consider replacing your live news stream or your podcast or whatever you're listening to, that if it does happen to be disturbing you in any way, try switching it with some of my meditation tracks or any other track that you like, and see how you feel. Just experiment. None of this is to impose anything on you. You investigate and experience and see your own experience and see how you feel and see what you find to be true. That's all. Thank you. Have a great day.